Hello, my lovely Leo, and welcome to your monthly love bonus reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, check out the other signs in your chart if they resonate with you more. We do have your general readings up for April, as well as the weekly readings from this past week. Should you like to check those out if you haven't had a chance yet. However, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right, we're going to do a past, present, future spread. So we'll go ahead and do that and see what we're working with here. And then we will certainly get some love clarifiers here. This is, so again, time is fluid in tarot. So past, present, and future is kind of past could be recent past or quite a while. Present is ongoing, so it could be for a bit. And future is kind of depending on what your present is, so do keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and get started here. So it looks like we have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you've had some big energy coming, or you've been dealing with some big energy. You've had some great opportunities. I do feel like you've probably tried to capitalize on a lot of that, but maybe it's made you feel like you're kind of out of your comfort zone a little bit, because the next card I have see here is the Star in reverse. So what I'm feeling here is that maybe you have been kind of trying some new things, and you're out of your comfort zone, okay? And being that this is kind of a love reading, so what I'm thinking here or feeling here is that relationship-wise, perhaps you've been putting out the vibes. Obviously, you're fiery hot with this Ace of Wands energy. So maybe, you've tried to be outside your comfort zone, as far as maybe you're not normally a very social person, but you've been much more social than usual as of late or in the past here. Maybe a little bit more, in the line of dating wise. Maybe you've been seeing more people or trying to be a little bit more open about things or open-minded about who you're seeing. And so you've tried to kind of open yourself up in a way that maybe you're really trying to be out there. You're putting out those vibes, you're putting out that frequency, and that's kind of been going on. But I do feel like with the Star in reverse, okay, I do feel like with that, for many of you, it has made you feel like you're kind of almost uncomfortable with yourself. You tried some things maybe, and it just didn't sit right with you, okay? So maybe the people that you were choosing, they just weren't good fits for you, or perhaps you just didn't enjoy, you tried to put yourself out there and you didn't enjoy the feedback you were getting. Maybe you're just like, I hate this dating scene. I thought I'd give it a go, but it was awful. Things like that. But for whatever reason, I feel like you were kind of feeling like uncomfortable, like your comfort zone was kind of not where it should be. But let's get some another clarifier on that. And that'll kind of give us some information as to where we're kind of coming into. But for many of you, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is that you've kind of been in a place, maybe very recently or maybe for a long time ongoing, where you've been just trying different things, new things, maybe dating different people, or maybe just the relationship itself. Maybe you went into the relationship fiery hot, it was a wonderful relationship. You felt like, as far as jumping at it, so it was something you were like, yeah, this is it, I want to get into it, but it really just kind of made you feel uncomfortable. It wasn't, it took the shine off your star, if you will, because ultimately it just made you feel like, this isn't a good fit for me, this isn't what I want. So let's see what we've got here. So we have the Five of Swords, of course. So again, I do feel like that's what happened, and I do feel like with that, again, for whatever it was, the situation, and you will certainly know whether you're coming out of, where you've been dating a lot of people, or whether you've been in a significant relationship that you didn't feel your best in, or you've come out of like kind of dating people and you're just like, this is awful, it's been awful, this is not what I wanted to do, I'm not a big fan of the dating pool, the dating scene, that's not my thing, I'm just uncomfortable with it, it sucks, I hate it. Whatever it may be, I do feel like it's caused, some strife here for you. So, it may have caused strife with that relationship if you were in a singular kind of settled relationship and you just didn't feel comfortable in it. So I do feel like, that may be something that caused, kind of a little bit of friction for you to get out of. again, anytime you're uncomfortable, there's a friction, right? You've got to get out of it. How do you get out of it without being, unscathed? And most of the time you kind of can't, right? So I do feel like that's part of it. And for those of you who've just kind of been going through the paces for some time or for a while, and you've dated and you've done this and you've done that and you've kind of gone through the stages, it's been like one battle kind of after another. And these, here you are, you've still got your swords, right? You're still there, you're still standing, but you're like leaving people behind because you're like, not feeling that one, not feeling that one. And it's kind of like, you may have broken some hearts, in the process. Unfortunately, I don't feel like you personally were heartbroken. I don't see that here. I'm not getting that feeling or intuition. I just feel like you may have broken some hearts. You may have left people kind of wondering, why did you just up and leave, or why did you just kind of move on? But you were just not, it made you feel uncomfortable. For whatever reason, and maybe uncomfortable is not the best word. It just didn't it didn't fulfill you. Okay, it didn't make you feel happy. So, you kind of just went on. And that's fine. But I do feel like you've left those things behind in the past. Either a singular relationship, take it as it resonates to you personally, whether that was the single relationship you were in, or whether this is you going through the paces of trying to date and all that. Either way, I feel like you are done with that phase. And so you're coming into this Eight of Swords here. So this is where I feel like you're kind of like, because you're done with that, either a singular relationship or the dating phase, and you're sick of it and you're tired of it and you're just over it, kind of. I feel like you feel kind of bound up, okay? I feel like you're kind of like, I'm tied up. What am I supposed to do? You feel like, okay, I feel like I would like to have a relationship. I'd like to be in a decent, good relationship. I mean, I have a billion opportunities. It's not that you don't have this amazing Ace of Wands energy about you. You can have a million people. That's not the problem, okay? The problem is you want the right person. And so you feel completely bound up because you know what you're looking for, right? You're just struggling to find it. You know what you want. You've got it in your mindset. You know what it is. You know what you want. You just can't seem to get it. You tried, and it's like everything is just off by something. Something's off, and you're tired of kind of wasting the time. Now I have this King of Swords energy in reverse. So I feel like, I kind of feel like this is your energy as well. Like, again, you have this Ace of Wands energy, but you also have this King of Swords energy where you're just not fooling around. You're not, you're a person who, you know what you want, you're strong, you know what you want, but at the same time, you're not able to be your kingly, gender neutral, of course, kingly strong self. So you're kind of in reverse, and that goes along with you being kind of feeling tied up with this Eight of Swords, because again, it's something where, you're strong, independent type person, okay? But you're just not able to get what you want. So you feel like, you're kind of almost at a loss. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? What can I do if every time I meet somebody, it's not the one? Or every time I date somebody, it just turns out to go to crap? Or, I know what I need, I know what I want, I know what would make me happy, but where am I supposed to find it? The opportunities are limited. Maybe your work keeps you tied up. Maybe you have kids that keep you tied up. Maybe you work from home and you're just not out there. So, you don't have a lot of exposure. Whatever it may be, you kind of feel like you're just not able to get what you need right now. Okay, so I do feel like that's kind of what's happening here relationship-wise. Let's see what else we've got. So we've got the Two of Wands in reverse. So I feel like, again, it's something where you feel like you don't have the options you need. You don't have the choices. You see that, and it's very frustrating for you. I feel like you're very frustrated. Like it's coming into me so strong that you're so frustrated because you know that there's a million people out there. You know that, that it should be more accessible than ever in life because we're connected by internet, we're connected by all these things, but at the same time, none of those things seem to really suit you. Like, you may have even tried like the dating online sites or scenes. You may have even tried certain things, but it was like, no, that's just not me. That's just not it. It's not happening. Whatever it is, it's like nothing seems to be giving you the option, the choice that you really want to have. You know, it's like, it's frustrating. You're frustrated. I can feel your frustration for most of you, because I feel like that you are legitimately like, you know the options are out, you know the choices are out, you know you should be connected in a million ways easier than ever before, but for some reason it is just really not happening. So let's get another card here. Okay, Four of Cups in reverse. And again, I feel like this is something where you are wanting, you're wanting someone to come to you. So you may be a person, for many of you, who, again, you don't like the chase. You don't want to have to reach out. You may be somebody who works at home, stays at home, or you go to home and to work, and that's kind of it. You're not out, you're not exposed a lot, you're not a fan of the dating sites, all this and that. So you're kind of like, I just want somebody to kind of almost show up at my door. Like, somebody to drop from the sky and land on the couch next to me. I am completely open and ready to hear from anybody, but I just don't know where to get them, how to find them, because I don't like any of the options at hand. It's almost like you want a friend or family member to bring somebody to you, and just it to be like so easy, so, so effortless that they just kind of, show up. But right now you're just I just feel your frustration. I feel like you're super frustrated right now, that things just are not coming in a way that you need them to come in. They're not working the way you want them to. And you're not a person who is, out and about enough or a lot, or, you just don't have the exposure to just like be out there with a ton of the opposite sex, meeting, greeting, having that kind of situation. And you're just not really a fan of the, options that there are, the online, the this and that, the speed date, the whatever. So I just feel like that's kind of where you are. But let's see what you've got going forward. So there could be potentials. Let's see what's coming in. So we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is, could be a younger person coming in, could be an immature person coming in, but it is an opportunity or some news, some information, something like that coming in. And it could be kind of just a precursor. That could be somebody that that's younger than you, or that is, a family member or a friend or something like that. That's like I said, you were kind of wanting somebody to come into you and bring that. And that may be what that is somebody that's younger than you, somebody that's kind of an immature spirit or person to you, but they introduce you to this Ace of Swords energy. Because I'm seeing this Ace of Swords energy, and I'm thinking that that's probably, I'm getting the distinct vibe that that is the person that you've kind of been waiting for. And they are of that like mind of you, where they're frustrated. They want to meet somebody, but they want to do it kind of in an old-fashioned way. If there's such a thing as an old-fashioned way anymore, but you know what I mean? Not kind of like, where they're paying for an online dating site and they chit chat and then they swipe certain ways and whatever, more like through a friend of a friend, or, casually at, the mall or church or whatever we used to do back in the 80s or something. But now it's harder to do because we don't have the same lifestyle that we once did. But I feel like this Page of Cups person is maybe the conduit, okay? They're not a person that you're going to have a relationship with. It's a person you may already know, a friend, a family member, coworker, or something in that genre, but somebody that's younger than you, or certainly less mature-wise than you are. But they happen to know this person, and they're like, hey, this is a good, a good fix. And they may not even intentionally be setting you up, but I think that's going to be your introduction piece. I feel that. So let's see what other information we can get. Okay. So the Sun, and it's in reverse. So for me, I don't feel like that means anything negative, like a darkness or anything. I think for me, what that means is that you and this energy, this Ace of Swords energy, are similar in that you both kind of want to get to know each other in peace, in quiet, in silence, in the shadows kind of situation. You're You're neither one those kind of, hey, look at me, hey, we want to be the life of the party, hey, we want to see and be seen. And I think that's why you're a good match. And I think that's why you're both kind of having trouble and frustration finding somebody, because you're not the ones who are out and about partying it up every night, seeing each other, being the life of the party. You know, if you were those people, you would certainly not have a problem finding anybody you wanted, running through them, this and that. And you may have tried that already and given it a go, but it obviously made your star flip upside down. It was just not for you, right? That was not your thing. So I feel like this is something that the two of you actually have in common, is that you kind of want to be not the center of attention, not the center of the light, not in the spotlight, not out in the sunlight. It's something where you kind of want to be enjoying each other's company and getting to know each other, but in a kind of quiet, again, that old fashioned keeps coming to mind. And I know that term sounds antiquated, and maybe for some of you it's not a good, I'm not using the terminology that is probably the best terminology, but you know, kind of a more chivalrous or quiet, relaxed type of reserved you know, relationship where you aren't being watched and the center of attention and all of that. So let's get some further clarification on that. Page of Swords in reverse. Okay. So again, I feel like, you know, there's going to be opportunities coming in probably for both of you. You know, and I do feel like there might be even people from your past. I kind of feel like for some reason I'm getting that vibe from this, that this could be somebody from either your past or this this Ace of Swords past, a significant other potentially trying to come in. And I do feel like they, with it being in reverse, the thought about that for me is that not as much, you know, that I just feel like maybe they're coming in not with the interest of bringing in news or bringing in opportunity, but more the interest of taking it away. More like they want to try to keep you apart, jealousy. I feel a jealous vibe from this. So whomever this person is, I do feel a jealous vibe from that. So if you've got someone you've seen that maybe wasn't, especially it could be somebody here that you broke their heart a little bit. There could be a little bit there going on. And maybe they're just like, oh, great, now there was somebody so fancy and perfect for them, and oh, you know, and they're a little bitter, and you know, or this person may have a significant other that just didn't want to let them go. But I do see that you two are so suited, so fitted together well, such a good fit. I don't see that this is going to be much of a problem, but I do feel like it's going to be a pest, okay? Like, you know, a pain in the butt for some of you. They're going to try to cause issues. They're going to try to be around. You know, I do feel like it's somebody who's going to try to, you know, maybe manipulate or, you know, possibly try to come between you because of jealousy. That's the vibe I get off this, is a jealous type vibe. With that being a reversal there, and just I feel like that's a jealous vibe coming in. Let's get a final card here. Okay, Eight of Cups in reverse. So again, I feel like with that, it's a reversal. I feel like instead of, you know, you guys are already kind of communing together out of the limelight. But one thing I do feel that you guys have in common is that, again, that old fashioned keeps coming up in my head, and I don't know why, but it does. It's like you guys have that in common, that family is very important to you, togetherness is very important to you. So I do feel like instead of going away with this being in reverse, I feel like that is something that you guys will share in, is that you're going to want to bring each other into your circle of family, friends, togetherness, that kind of thing. You're not looking for that party scene. You're not looking for that out and about scene. You're not looking for that, you know, fun scene. You're not, you're much more, you know, kind of out of the spotlight, and more, you know, into the family type. You'd rather come into, you know, let's do some things, quiet things with the family, some quality time with your family, my family, our friends, you know, our small groups, have, you know, little quiet time together, you know, in the darkness, in the shadow type situation where we're not, you know, being the center of attention, not being stared at, not being a big deal, not throwing heinous parties, not big wild things, not, big entertaining soirees, but just, familyness, togetherness, friends, family, backyard barbecue, kind of quiet fun. And I feel like that is where you guys are going to be such a perfect match for each other. So I do feel like this is a very good relationship that is coming for you. Everything about this feels like that to me. But I do think it is going to take a little bit of frustration through here. Now, how long this will last, again, depends on where you are in the process right now. How long have you been out of this scene where you've been trying to date or in a relationship? How long have you moved into this where you are ready to kind of, you're frustrated, you're looking, but I think you will know when this person introduces you. I feel like when you meet this person, you're going to know almost instantly that you both share that. You share common values, you share common principles. You are looking for the same things in a relationship. You were looking to meet in a similar way. You were both struggling with the relationship, process, I think, of coming together, the dating process rather, of coming together or finding someone. And so I think by finding each other, you guys really enjoy that. And I do think it's going to be an excellent fit, and you'll know right away. I do think it's going to be something where you're going to be pleased almost immediately. You'll know. So that Ace of Swords energy is a great energy for you, and they're strong. Someone you can count on, someone stable. So I do think this is going to be a good thing for you. Let's pull 3 love cards here to kind of get some information, help you out here. So honeymoon. Okay, so I do feel like with this, more than anything, I think with this honeymoon card, honeymoon doesn't necessarily mean honeymoon for you in this. I feel like honeymoon in this for you is like a honeymoon is a getaway, right? It's where you get away. It's short-lived. It's like fun, great times. You get away, but and that's that. And I feel like that's what you've kind of been going through. You've been going through some fun times. You've been going through this or that. Maybe you had a good relationship a little bit, but then you're like, nope. Or you've been dating and it was fun for a little bit, but nope. And honeymoon's over, right? Honeymoon's over. And so you're ready to get away. You're ready to come back home or ready to go back to whatever, real life or whatever. So I feel like this is kind of a honeymoon phase. You've kind of been like, okay, that's fun, but it's time to get back to reality, okay? Because this wasn't working for me. I gave it a try. It made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't love it, but I'm ready to get back here, okay? That's kind of how I feel like that's meaning. With this one, it says pay attention to red flags, okay? Well, again, I feel like with this, you are frustrated, okay? You're very frustrated, and I think that's something that's all you're doing, to be honest with me. With you, is that for me, all you are doing is seeing red flags. You just feel like everything is like, all I'm seeing is, I know what I want, but all I see is, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. So I think you're paying attention to them. I think you're seeing a lot of them, and that's okay because you're not settling. You could have settled over here. Like I said, I don't see any shortage of you having opportunities, options, availability of anything you want of the opposite sex, or if you're of the same sex persuasion that you prefer, fine, whatever it may be. But I don't see that you're having any problem on the dating scene. Let's put it that way. But again, I do think that you're paying a ton of attention to red flags, okay? And it's frustrating the hell out of you. I mean, I can see it. It's like you just want things to be a little bit easier. You just want things to be a little bit more like I said, somebody brings somebody to me. Somebody show up at my door. Somebody show up on my couch next to me to watch Netflix and chill. Just fall out of the sky. That's what you're kind of hoping for. And it almost literally does here, okay? Because I feel like your page here brings this person to you. This could be a friend, a family member, a coworker. Again, like I said, I literally believe that they see that and they kind of see you're both kind of suffering from the same thing. And whether they intentionally do it or not, I think they kind of end up bringing y'all together, and then they're like, hey, look what I did. Yay me. Because I think they realize how great it works out, just like you do, just like the Ace of Swords does, like you all realize. So but your card down here in this future row is deception. And like I said, I absolutely feel like this Page of Swords in reverse, okay, not the Page of Cups up here that gets you together, but the Page of Swords in reverse. I really do feel like that is a jealousy vibe. I got out of that from jump. So I do feel like somebody And again, I'm feeling like it's somebody back here that you may have broken a heart, left behind, or somebody that maybe they broke a heart because it just wasn't their thing. And neither one of you are the kind of person to drag somebody on. Neither one of you are the kind of person to settle and just keep somebody on for just to be doing it. You're just not that people, okay? That's probably why you guys get along so well. So I think part of it here is that I do feel like somebody here has not been wanting to let go. They're a little upset, and they may come through, and like I said, they may try to deceive, cause problems, cause drama. They may say, oh, they've been trying to text me, they've been trying to message me, they've been trying to get back with me, all these stories just to break you two up. But again, I don't think it's anything. I see you two as both very mature, you and this ace here anyway, as very mature units, okay, who are very grounded. Maybe old souls is kind of how I see it. When I say old fashioned, maybe I mean old souls kind of in a way. Both may be, applicable. But again, I do feel like you guys are going to be able to see through that person. But I do feel like there will be some, like I said from jump, I do feel like that's kind of what I'm getting, the vibe I got off that Page of Swords. So I'm going to pull 3 soulmate cards, okay? And the soulmate cards, whether you're single, not single, have met anybody or not yet, do think about what your ideal soulmate would look like, and we'll kind of apply this to that. I will pull 3 of these for you, and we will, well, excuse my horrible shuffling here today, but we'll try to pull 3 of these and see if they can give you some insight here to kind of move forward with your relationships. So this one says, let us be the love we seek. Let us be the change we wish to see. Let us give freely to one another without condition, for it is in giving that we receive, okay? So again, I think the thing here is you are a giver. You are a person who doesn't want to play people. You're not gonna, you're uncomfortable even with the idea of, players and dating and this and that. I just feel like, so this is kind of like why you and this other person, I feel you have this mentality, and I do feel like that is something that you are going to cling on to, which is perfect. And I do think that's something that you guys will have in common. It will bind you. So that's good. I surrender all negative beliefs that no longer serve me and replace them with loving thoughts and intentions. From this moment on, I will listen only to the voice of love. Your love is an endless source of inspiration. And I think that this is beautiful that this came into this row where you are seeing red flags everywhere. You are so frustrated. I think this is kind of like an inspiring advice from Spirit, kind of telling you to, stay optimistic, okay? Try to only look for the things that are positive. That doesn't mean that you need to date those people if you see a red flag by any means. Please do not think that that's what I'm saying in any means. But do try to, find value in each person, for what they are, not just view them as their red flag, what have you, even if it's not something that you want for your future. At least try to find the value in them as a person, and then move on in a kind way, so that hopefully, even if you can't help but break some hearts, which you may very well do, maybe if you can let them down as easy as possible, they may be less likely to be more of these Page of Swords in reverse, deceiving type people trying to come back and cause drama. And this one says, no matter what change life brings, nothing will change my love for you. You give my life purpose. Because of you, I feel safe. I am forever grateful. Thank you. Okay, so again, this is you and your soulmate person. And for many of you, I do feel like you may very well meet this person, and this could very well be your soulmate person here, because I do feel like you have very many of the same values, very many of that old soul mentality. You are both feeling the same frustrations. You both share very similar core values, beliefs. You don't really want the same, you don't want the spotlight. You want to be, more family oriented, or, close friends, those kinds of things. So I do see that this is something you will be grateful for, and I do think you will relish and enjoy. So even if, it doesn't end up being, forever, I do think it will be a good long-term relationship at the very least. For both of you, and I think it will be a very respectful relationship for each other that will be very good for you. I don't think it's going to be anything that you'll have to recover from. Lord knows you both have probably had relationships that you've had to recover from, because people who are of that mindset where they want things to be kind of chivalrous and old fashioned, a lot of times they just they're romantics at heart, and so they can get into some relationships that just can really fall short. So hopefully this one won't for you. So I do think this is all good things coming for you, with the exception of somebody who might try to stir up a little drama for you, but pay no attention to the big spoon stirring up the drama. I do think everything's going to turn out great. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I hope to see you back this weekend for your weekend energy reading. Bye.